years. Kind of what's your been impressions of him since he's got here to now?
Well, when we played Michigan, I knew Tre was going to have to play more going into Michigan. And when I saw him at the beginning of the game, he had a couple of MEs early on in the game, plays I didn't like. And before the game, he was excited, like jumping up and down like he was last year as a freshman, as a true freshman. And it's different when you are the role of having to run the ball and play on the offense and play special teams. Two totally different roles. And so after the game, I told him, Tre, you got to calm down for the game, man. You got to chill out and relax because you got it's a lot of stuff you got to digest every single play and how to go in through every series. And I said the MEs at the beginning of the game, not starting fast, we got to eliminate that. And he took it and he understood because as a coach, you got to look at your guys and see how they are before the game and see how they play. And Tre took it. He took that at the helm. And now when I watch him, he's so confident. I say something to him, he's like, gotcha, got it. Like and it's cool because I can sit back and now not so hands-on with him, and now he's understanding. He make a mistake and he know it too. I like for the other coaches to get on him and cuss him out a little bit before I get to him. You know what I mean? But he's so coachable and he's never upset. And his mom, his whole family, everybody you talk to will tell you that's how he is. It's just his personality, man. His character is huge. That's why he's playing so well. It's because of who he is. He continue to get better. Continue to get better. Came in at 177. Tre Wisner is 202. And next year he need to be 210. And he have an absolute chance. He has an absolute chance to get on the next level and quick. That's what you expect for guys like him. He came in and worked, and it's all to his character and how he worked. I got a lot of respect for him.
What makes him stand out to you as like a former running back? Like, what do you like about his game?
He runs all day, and he's a natural runner. Tre sees what he is a natural runner. He can see seams, and he runs hard. He finishes runs the right way. When you got an attitude like that, when you're not the biggest guy, but you think you're the biggest guy and you play like that, and the more he runs, if you've seen games, the more he runs, the better he gets. And now, if he can do that at the beginning of the game, see the field, see the run, see his reads, he has great ball security. He catches the ball well out the backfield. He played a little receiver his senior year, and people was down on him. You know what I mean? But not me, because when I watched him run the football, you still see the things that you can't coach. He can make people miss. He works hard. When you talk to Coach Sweeney at Duncanville High School, the receiver coach, the first thing he said is, we don't win the state if it wasn't Tre Wisner. He kept the room together. He kept the team together. Those type of things you need in the running, you need in your room, because you got said backs who everybody knows. And then you got a Tre Wisner who, every time he came on a visit, it was they looked at Jonte Cook. He was with Jonte Cook every time, and he didn't want the attention. He just wanted to be here. He wanted an opportunity. When you see stuff like that as people, I go through the roof for them guys.
Do you like players that come from the programs that have played in those big-time football games before?
You know, it's big because when they do, you know they got championship pedigree. And when you go to DeSoto High School, you see how hard they coached. They coached their guys. And then, you know, he was from Waco, went to Waco Comedy at first. And then you got, you know, we got a couple of guys on the team. We got Kobe and we got Jelani, who both came from there, big-time players. And so when you get guys who are molded, being around other good, talented people, and they work hard, it's all you ask for.
Played for a pretty good running back. Claude himself was pretty good.
Oh, yeah, run that rock.
Yeah.
You got it.
Coach, I just want to ask you about your two signees this year.
Yeah.
What do you like about Ricky and James, and what do they bring to this group?
Well, James, I think he's a bigger back, about 6 foot.
Yeah.
I think he's covering about 202 right now, reminding me of Jonathan Brooks. Short area quickness, ability to make people miss. He catches the ball out of the backfield. Played receiver before he went to running back. And so having him in the camp and actually having a chance to work him out, it was everything I needed to know about James. And then Ricky Stewart, 10 yards a carry, his junior year, watching him every single year get better and better. That's what you look for kids, to see if they continue to get better. And he's raw, and having the ability to get him and coach him and fine-tune him, and he loves football. And he wanted to be at Texas. When you got guys that want to be here, that I thought he was the best back in the state to me, I loved him. And so having a chance, he's quiet, but he loves the game of football, so I'm all in on it.
Defensive line room, what'd you learn from day one to now?
Great question. I would say growth. Okay, willing to work. It's just kind of been just the process. It's really kind of what day one to where we're at now. And there's still obviously more work to be done. Got a great opponent in Arizona State, so it's just every day. It's just that focused intensity on, the details and fundamentals, man. But that's been probably the most satisfying thing to this point in terms of just where the room has come. Trusting in me, who am I, who are they, that relationship piece, and then also just the work piece in terms of becoming better players, man. So I would say growth is probably the one thing from day one to now.
I know 25 is going to look a little different in terms of who's in the room, but
Sure.
Alex January is a guy that's been there, as has Melvin Hills. What do you like about them in terms of their development this year?
Yeah, they're learning. They're learning how to work, what it takes, understanding what the true standard is. It's not a sometime thing. It's an all-the-time thing, and it's not just football. It's your way of life. It's in the weight room with Coach Beckton. It's with academics with Jeff and his crew. It's the nutrition piece, the sleep piece, the choices and decisions piece. So that's probably been the biggest thing is those guys just figuring it out. Because come from Alex coming from Duncanville, good player, a lot of success. Neither one of them still had any idea of they don't know that they don't know. Okay, and so just obviously an older group, those guys navigating them, and then just learning, and this is real. This is detailed, real ball. So they've been doing great. And their future is going to be bright as long as they just stay the course.
Right.
So,
and I'll give you a chance to brag on your 25 class. You got 3 guys that signed. What do you like about them?
good players. They work, good character. Their ball's important to them. They love it. Yeah, it's a good group, man. It obviously takes a village. Starting with Sark and the recruiting people and our D staff, and especially coming in when you're a little bit behind the 8 ball, for better words, just because you get here and other people have been recruiting for 2-3 years. But and it's Texas. It's Texas. So we got it done. Okay, and there's still more work to be done, and now we got them here now. Let's see what they do on the field. So, but no, I'm excited about those guys.
ASU hasn't played in a few weeks now, so they're going to come in fresh. Yeah, they're going to be fresh. What are you expecting?
They're going to come out hot. I mean, we don't really want to take them lightly at all because they're going to come out hot. They're a physical team. We're watching the tape, the onside kicking, running fake field goals, and a lot of stuff. So we got to be prepared on all 3 phases of the game.
Appreciate your
No
time.
problem.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thanks, Anthony.
Yes, sir.
How fun has this run been for you?
Man, it's been extremely fun. I mean, like guys like Colin, Leona, so we kind of take in the moment and just chill with some of them guys and just do little stuff.
I was asking Leona earlier about Coach Nansen and what he's kind of done to unlock this room. What have you learned about Coach Nansen in year 1?
When he first came in, it was a little tough because we were trying to get used to some of the new stuff. But the more and more he got here, the more comfortable he got. I mean, I feel like he unlocked a new level of game for me. I feel like he's a great coach, and he just touches people in a way that a lot of people can't get at you.
And a lot has been made about Cam Scadaboo and the running game for Arizona State. What have you seen from maybe the tight ends or their middle of the field passing?
I mean, they're an elite team. I kind of seen, watching the tape, I'm seeing Lovett extend the plays. I'm seeing their tight ends make big plays. Of course, Jordan Tyson's out, but I feel like number 5 and some of them guys can make explosive plays for them in the passing game.
And I guess, I don't want to look too far ahead, but when you look to playing back in Atlanta for the second time, how nice is it to be back here with your season still alive?
It feels good. I mean, we can kind of get that bad taste out of our mouth, but we kind of don't really want to focus on the past. I mean, we want to focus on right now, so it's good to be back, but we just want to lock in on being here right now.
And then I'll ask you this, where did you think your best game of the season was, and what's still on the table for you to improve on?
My best game of the season, I'll say Oklahoma. I mean, that was one of my favorite games, just beating them and improving. I'll say just like my zone drops and being more physical at the point of attack with my hands and just certain little stuff that I'll have to work on now and in the offseason to go on the lawn just to be a better football player.
And I guess last one for you, the win on the road in College Station. I know some history with you there in Texas A&M and whatnot, but how emotional, how relieving of a win was that for you in terms of just walking off the field saying, okay, we did the job that we were expected to do?
It felt good getting that win because, of course, I know a lot of people on the staff. I talked to them after the game and a lot of the players because I was recruited with them. So it felt good just having a bragging right for a year, and hopefully when we play them at home, we can go ahead and get another win.
Good deal. Thanks, Ann.
Yep.
Hey, And I just think that's so amazing. So how much does that mean to you to have her support and the fact that she would drive all the way even to Michigan to come support you?
Oh man, a lot of people don't know this, but my mom is actually my best friend. Like, me and my mom talk. Like, I confide in my mom more than some of my partners. I'm trolling. But definitely, just having that support of my mom, being my backbone. As we was raising up, that's how it always been. I always been her backbone. She always been my backbone. So just for her to be able to travel to each away game and come support me, it means the world to me. It's a truly blessing. Cause I know a bunch of guys don't got that from their mom. Some guys lost their mom. Some guys' moms, can't really travel like my mom do. So for my mom to, just take the opportunity and run with it like I'm doing now, for her to do her job and play that part, it means the world to me.
Yeah, and I'm assuming, has she always kind of supported your journey to play football? When you were like, I'm going to play football in Texas.
Yeah,
she was just right on board with you. That's really sweet. Is it kind of like a goal of yours to, I guess, in the future, be able to support her the way that she supported you?
Oh, definitely. That's I don't want to say that's the main goal, but like as I'm getting older, I'm noticing like, my mom still works. She works 2 jobs. She works doubles every week. And for her to still be putting in work like me, like we waking up same time every day, going to bed same time every day, for her to still be putting in that work as I'm getting older, it just shows me like anything you want in life, it's never impossible to grab. So just for her to still be doing that, it shows me like I have to take care of her. It's not one of them situations where it's like, oh, you don't have to do this. I have to take care of my mom, and that's what I'm going to do.
Sweet. And kind of the workload you've had this season, obviously, I feel it's been more than you anticipated, especially with CJ Baxter going down and everything like that. But how do you think it's how has it propelled you in that direction or given you opportunities that you didn't make this year?
When Cedric went down, it kind of shocked me because that's the running back I came in with. So we got a real tight bond, and it kind of threw me in a loop, just considering like in my head I had big plans for both of us for the season. Like a real dynamic duo, because that's my dog. But when he went down, it just kind of like it threw me in the loop. But then as he started recovering, it started to drive me. Like as he started tapping into me more, I started tapping into him more, and it just drove me to a point where it's like, all right, I'm doing it for you, but now I'm putting in overdrive for you. Because that's my dog, and you hate to see one of your soldiers fall down, especially when it's a big season coming up and a big role he's about to play in. So just him falling, it definitely threw me overdrive.
And do you guys obviously talk outside of practice or even during practice? What kind of words of motivation does he give you?
Man, he be trolling. He be meddling. He a meddler. He from Florida, so he a meddler. But nah, his words of encouragement are the ones that you really don't look for because they come out of the blue. And that's the best thing about it. You don't really want somebody to encourage you when you're doing good. You want somebody to encourage you when you're just in a blank space. And that's where Cedric plays a great role in my life for me. He's a real great brother outside of football also. So like I said, his words of encouragement come out of the blue, and they touch me definitely.
Got one for you. You've got a couple Connolly boys up here on the team. What is it in the water? There's one right there. I mean, why has Connolly been able to spit out so many guys? And I mean, just talk about the bond that you have with guys that you've played in high school that have carried over to here.
Because Connolly's one of them smaller big schools. You know what I mean? Although it's a small school in a small little country town, they definitely produce great athletes, and that's just due to because when we was at Connolly, me, Kobe, and Jelani, we all played defense,
right. And
now I'm the only one that play offense. So just being at that school, it definitely made us into some great athletes, and we do a great job of bonding. Like we at Connolly, that was my first time doing like team meals, like things like that. So it definitely helped us transition from Connolly to Texas.
All right, you've been thrown into the fire a few times. How fun has it been, but also what's kind of been those learning curves that you've experienced in terms of the real game experience?
It's been super fun. Just, being able to play in games like A&M when it's such a big game, and, the SEC Championship in Georgia and, first round of the playoffs. It's been a super fun experience, but I'd say, like, the learning curves is, you go against guys like Mykel Williams, Jalen Walker, Nick Gordon, Shamar Stewart, and, those guys are, first round projected guys, and so going against them, you got to, really realize, what you need to do to prepare. So
how soon? I know it was only 7 snaps into A&M that you were thrown in there, but did it take time? It felt like it was pretty natural for you to step in and be the guy, right? It didn't look like there was much drop off there.
Yeah, I would say the first drive, that was kind of my warm up drive, if you will. Kind of just getting used to it, and then once you get into the game, it really felt like practice for me. So.
Yeah. Did you? I know some guys talk about it. Did you have a welcome to college football moment at all?
I guess it would be, if I had to guess, there was a screenplay in the Georgia game where Jalen Walker, the Buckets Award, when he came off my block and made the tackle. So I guess that was my welcome to college football moment. Of guys are just super athletic and super agile. So.
And I guess on that side, because look, you've had to play left and right tackle. I don't think folks at home understand just how difficult that is. What are some of the challenges that you see having to jump from one side of the line to the other?
Well, I always tell people it kind of reminds me of playing basketball with my left hand. Like, it's familiar. I guess the techniques are familiar, but when you're doing it on the other side, it's a little different. So it's been tough, but I've been repping it all this week, so I'll be prepared.
Yeah. How has this week or month or whatever it's been leading up to the Peach Bowl? How's that been for you to kind of, okay, am I going to start? Am I going to play? How's that mentality kind of go about?
So the mentality I always go in with is, prepare like a starter. And, Kelvin Banks and Cam Williams, those guys have been really helping me out. And, I really appreciate them for that. So
I guess speaking of Kelvin, what's, a thing or two that you've learned in terms of preparation and just football in general?
I guess there's always, watching film and watching the guys that you're about to go against and, going into the details of, how they lined up, what kind of moves do they like, how are they built for certain rushes. So, yeah.
We've seen you, kind of thrust into the starting lineup this year. What's kind of been that leap from freshman year to now in terms of what you've learned on the field?
I would say just being more confident, more, comfortable out on the field. Just, understanding my position more, and also the people around me, what they're doing, and just, believing in myself and believing in the players around me to, do their job, and allows me to play more free and more fast.
Now, of course, you've had a knack for big plays. You've had a safety, a couple interceptions, forced fumbles, whatever it is, you're around the football. Is that film study? Is that just instincts? Where does that come from?
I want to say a little bit of both. Our coaches do a great job of preparing us, showing us, every look they can throughout practice. We actually get a lot of reps throughout practice, and, sometimes some things we don't even see on film, and they just want to prepare us for, all the chaos that goes on throughout the game. So I would say, our coaches do a great job preparing us.
I was going to ask that Clemson throwback where the offensive line didn't move at all. Was that film study? There's no way that was on film before the game.
Honestly, that one was just, I don't know. They just caught me off guard. I ended up not moving and ended up being in the right place at the right time. Of course, I would want the bigger play at the end of the day, but
And then, real quick about Coach Nansen, how's he kind of changed this linebacking room, and what do you like about him?
Yeah, we had a great coach last year as well, Coach Cho, but moving into this year, we weren't too sure, how it's going to look with a new coach, and he did a great job coming in and keeping the room together, and showing us he really cares for us, off the field just as much as on the field. Probably even more off the field, if anything. He's done a great job preparing us as well, preparing each and every one of us to play. I know you see we're rolling a lot of linebackers in there. A lot of us are getting playing time, and it's a credit to the coaches for making sure everyone is prepared, and it doesn't matter who's in a game. We could always run any play on our defense. So
good deal. You returned back to Atlanta. A lot's been made about Arizona State's running game. What have you seen on tape so far, and how eager are you for the challenge?
I'm very eager for the challenge. Scotty Blue's a great running back. You turn on the tape and see why. Quarterback, sneaky athletic, has grit and stuff like that. So, we're excited as a defense to go against them.
I know this is final go-round for you, but I want to ask you about your mom. You mentioned her in the spring as the reason why you stuck it out, the reason why you stayed at Texas. How impactful has she been for you in your journey here at Texas?
She's been very impactful. She's been a mentor. Through the ups and downs in life. You know what I'm saying? Without her, I wouldn't be here. So I owe it to her to give it all. So.
Of course, talking about Coach Baker. We've seen, heard, some of the differences between him and Coach Bo. I don't want to get into that, but what's he meant to you in your game specifically this year?
He's really elevated my game because just how detail-oriented he is, and, to be great, it's in the details, you know what I'm saying? So, I feel like he's really helped me.
Do you have a story or anything about your first interaction with Coach Baker? I know his energy is something that kind of jumps off. Did you recognize that right away?
Oh, yeah. I realized his passion and love for the game, and I see it. It's infectious, so it bleeds out on us, and we're one as a D-line.
Yeah, and I know Justice Terry, one of the new early enrollees, is on campus now. Have you been able to meet him? See what?
Blue, I think so. Yeah.
One of the younger cats.
Yeah, I see him.
Anything stand out about him?
He's gonna be good. He's big. He's big. Yeah. So once he gets in this college system, he's gonna be all right.
Well, good deal. Thanks, Alfred.
All right, thank you.
Kobe, you've been seeing a lot more action this year, especially as the season's gone on. How's that, kind of learning curve and developmental path? How's that been for you?
It's been very good, just learning and, watching the older guys like, Jade, Manny, and just really learning from their mistakes and just trying to get better every day.
What have you learned from Jade specifically?
Really just not necessarily even on the field, but just off the field, and how to carry myself around other people, and just, it's like a standard you have to hold, and that's really what I've been learning from Jade.
I know we saw you a lot in the Vanderbilt game. How fun was that for you to just get on the field and start playing ball again?
It was very fun. I was just excited for the opportunity, and I just had fun out there.
And I guess what's next in your game? What can you take that next leap forward in?
Really just everything. Just gotta get better at everything, so I'm excited for that.
I asked Tre about the Connolly boys. What makes Waco Connolly be able to produce so many athletes like yourself, but also what's y'all's bond like off the field?
In Waco it's very small, so we're always around each other, and that's really how the bond was made. It wasn't just necessarily of sports, but outside we used to hang out with each other all the time, just do everything together, so that's how our bond was made.
I'll ask you about this time last year. You committed to Texas, maybe a little earlier.
Yeah.
But it felt like, with that from June to the official visit, it felt like Texas was always a school that was pretty high for you. When did you know that Texas was going to be the place that you ended up at?
It was actually, I think, the start of the whole season, start of the football season.
So about August?
I was already committed to him, but I just didn't really release it yet. So, yeah.
Were you ever close to playing with your brother?
Most definitely. I always thought about playing with him like my whole life, and I finally had the opportunity, but I just knew I had to do what was best for me and being developed at the best school, so that's why I chose it.
There were rumors that he might portal down to Austin. Was that ever in the cards?
Nah, it actually was. I don't know why everybody started saying that, but he never said anything about that. So.
Well, good deal. Thanks, Kobe.